Sarah, the matriarch of promise, a journey of faith and perseverance. In the sacred pages of the Bible, a prominent figure among women emerges, Sarah, the wife of Abraham. Her name, meaning princess in Hebrew, carries with it a story of faith, challenges, and the fulfillment of a divine promise. In this video, we will delve into Sarah's life, exploring the facets of her personality and the significance of her journey in the biblical narrative. Sarah is introduced in the scriptures in the book of Genesis, initially known as Sarai. She and Abraham lived in Ur of the Chaldeans when they received a call from God to leave their land and journey to a land that would be shown to them. This was the first step in a journey marked by faith and obedience. Divine promise was made to Abraham that he would be the father of a great nation. However, there was a significant challenge. Sarah was barren. The inability to conceive was a source of sorrow and questioning for the couple, but they continued to trust in the divine promise. God renamed Sarai to Sarah, signifying princess or queen. This name change not only indicated a new phase in her life, but also symbolized the transformation that was to come. The divine promise was renewed, and despite Sarah and Abraham's advanced age, they finally became parents. The story of the birth of Isaac, the promised son, is a high point in Sarah's life. Her response to the news of the arrival of the child was one of disbelief, but God reminded her that nothing was impossible for him. Isaac, whose name means laughter, brought joy to Sarah's life, fulfilling the promise made decades earlier. However, Sarah's life was also marked by challenges. In a time of famine, she and Abraham went to Egypt, where she was taken into the Pharaoh's palace. The situation required a difficult decision from Sarah, who showed courage in maintaining her integrity even under pressure. Sarah's relationship with Hagar, her maidservant, also brought complexities. In an attempt to fulfill the divine promise of having a child, Sarah suggested that Abraham have an heir with Hagar. This decision, though motivated by the pursuit of the promise, resulted in conflicts and family tensions. Sarah is recognized as the matriarch of the Hebrew people, a woman whose faith and perseverance played a crucial role in the history of God's people. Her legacy goes beyond the biblical narrative, serving as an example of how trust in God can overcome the most challenging circumstances. In contemporary times, Sarah continues to be a source of inspiration for those facing challenges in life's journey. Her story reminds us of the importance of maintaining faith even when divine promises seem distant or impossible. She is a testimony that God can accomplish great things through those who trust in Him. By exploring Sarah's life, we find a narrative rich in lessons of faith, patience, and triumph. Her journey, marked by divine promises, challenges, and moments of victory, resonates through the ages as an inspiring testimony. In this video, we delve into the biblical pages to gain a deeper understanding of the life of this remarkable woman, Sarah, the princess who, through her faith, became the matriarch of a great nation. Rahab, from prostitute to heroine, a story of redemption and courage. In the fabric of biblical narratives, one character stands out for her remarkable journey from the margins to the center of salvation history, Rahab. In this video, we uncover the story of Rahab, a woman whose transformation from prostitute to heroine exemplifies the power of faith, redemption, and courage. Rahab first appears in the Bible in the book of Joshua, when the Israelites are preparing to conquer the city of Jericho. Rahab is described as a prostitute living in Jericho, a city marked for divine judgment. Her occupation as a prostitute sets the stage for a narrative that challenges social norms and expectations. While the Israelites sent spies to explore Jericho before their conquest, Rahab's life takes an unexpected turn. Instead of seeing the spies as enemies, Rahab recognizes the supremacy of the God of Israel and decides to shelter them. In doing so, she performs a remarkable act of faith and courage, risking her life for the sake of the strangers. Rahab's words to the spies reveal her recognition of God's sovereignty and the fear that had fallen upon the inhabitants of Jericho due to the Israelites' approach. In exchange for her help, Rahab makes a covenant with the spies, asking for the safety of her family when the city falls. As the Israelites surround Jericho, Rahab's house is marked with a scarlet cord, a symbol of the alliance she made with the spies. This scarlet rope becomes a powerful emblem of redemption, signifying Rahab's separation from the imminent destruction of Jericho. Rahab's family is spared during the fall of Jericho, and she herself becomes an integral part of the Israelite community. Her transformation from a marginalized prostitute to a respected member of God's chosen people highlights the theme of redemption that runs through the biblical narrative. Rahab's story doesn't end with the fall of Jericho. She marries Salmon, a prince from the tribe of Judah, and becomes an ancestor of King David. Furthermore, Rahab is mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus Christ in the Gospel of Matthew, highlighting her significant role in the Messiah's lineage. Inclusion in Jesus' lineage speaks volumes about the inclusive nature of God's redemptive plan. Rahab's past is not an impediment to her participation in the unfolding story of God's salvation. On the contrary, it becomes a testimony to the transformative power of faith and grace. Rahab's journey offers profound lessons for contemporary audiences. Her story challenges preconceived notions about righteousness and social expectations. Rahab's faith, courage, and willingness to take risks for God's plan demonstrate that redemption is not limited by one's past. In a world that often marginalizes individuals based on their background or circumstances, Rahab's story serves as a beacon of hope. It encourages us to look beyond external judgments and recognize the potential for transformation and redemption in every person. In this video, we explore the inspiring narrative of Rahab, a woman whose journey from prostitute to heroine highlights the transformative power of faith and redemption. Rahab's courage in challenging social norms, her faith in the God of Israel, and her role in the genealogy of Jesus Christ make her a significant and empowering figure in biblical history. Rahab's story challenges us to reconsider our perceptions of others, emphasizing the importance of grace, courage, and redemption. As we explore the depths of her narrative, may Rahab's journey inspire us to embrace our own capacity for transformation and to extend compassion and understanding to those around us. In the vast panorama of biblical narratives, one name echoes down the centuries as the first woman created by God, Eve. We embark on a fascinating journey through the history and symbolism surrounding the figure of Eve, exploring the events in the Garden of Eden and beyond. Eve, whose name in Hebrew means life, is introduced in the opening pages of the Bible, in the book of Genesis. Described as Adam's companion, Eve was created from a rib of the first man. The setting was the Garden of Eden, a paradisiacal land where God placed Adam and Eve, entrusting them with the responsibility of caring for and ruling over creation. The central point of Eve's story is the temptation in Eden. The biblical account describes the serpent, cunning and subtle, questioning the divine prohibition against eating the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Eve, enchanted by the possibility of acquiring wisdom, gives in to temptation and eats the fruit, sharing it with Adam. Eve's choice to disobey divine instructions marks the fall of humanity, a crucial moment in biblical history that resulted in the introduction of sin and separation from God. Eve, after eating the fruit, faces the consequences of her actions. A sense of guilt and a newly acquired awareness of good and evil weigh heavily on her. Together with Adam, she is expelled from Eden, facing a fate of pain in childbirth and a tense relationship with the earth. However, it is important to note that the figure of Eve is not only that of a transgressor, but also that of a woman who experienced the complexity of freedom of choice and its implications. Her journey goes beyond the fall, involving herself in the construction of humanity and the acceptance of the destiny that would unfold for her future generations. In addition to the literal interpretation, Eve is also often seen as a symbol and metaphor in various religious and cultural traditions. She personifies femininity, curiosity, and, in some cases, temptation. The duality of her image, sometimes villain and sometimes victim, reflects the complexities of the human condition. Many interpretations throughout history have focused on the guilt attributed to Eve, but it is essential to consider her wider role in the biblical narrative. She is the mother of humanity, the pioneer who faced the consequences of her actions and went on to play a significant role in humanity's trajectory. By rediscovering Eve, we can question our own judgments and prejudices about women in history. The myth of Eve offers an opportunity to reflect on individual responsibility, freedom of choice, and acceptance of the complexity inherent in the human condition. Eve, an emblematic figure in the Bible, continues to be a source of fascination and interpretation. Her story transcends the pages of Scripture, touching on universal aspects of the human experience. In this video, we delve into the layers of Eve's narrative, exploring not only the events in Eden, but also the symbolic implications that resonate through the ages. By understanding Eve beyond the traditional lens, we are invited to reconsider our own understanding of guilt, freedom, and destiny. Eve's story is a journey that resonates with each of us, reminding us that even in the most crucial choices, there is room for redemption and the search for a true understanding of life.